Today's gospel reading comes out of the 14th chapter of Matthew, verses 22 to 33. And when I first read today's gospel reading, it quickly made me think of an article I read in the Psychology Today magazine. The article was entitled this: "The two words you should never speak." Does anyone know the two words you should never speak? They're the words, "I can't." To say "I can't," you preclude the possibility of all the things you can do. Now, in this article, I had a little interesting side note that said in one of the General Motors plants in Detroit, Michigan, when you enter this big, massive plant, on the left side wall is this saying, and the saying says this. Take a look at it. I find it very interesting. It says this: "According to the theory of aerodynamics as gleaned from wind tunnel experiments, the bumblebee, because of the relationship in size of its small wings to its large body, is unable to fly. But the bumblebee, unaware of this theory, flies anyway. So no one ever told the bumblebee, 'Bumblebee, you can't fly. It's impossible for you to fly.' Since the bumblebee doesn't know it can't fly, it flies anyway. The bumblebee definitely doesn't say, 'I can't.'" And that's the key point, a key message of today's gospel reading, is all the good things that can happen in your life if you run around saying, "I can." And all those things that'll never be a part of your life if you simply say, "I can't." And so what we want to do is look at verse 29 of the 14th chapter of Matthew. It says this: "Peter said to him in reply, 'Lord, if it is you, command me to come to you on the water.' He said, 'Come.' Now Peter got out of the boat and began to walk on the water toward Jesus." Clearly, Peter had faith in Jesus. How do we know he had faith in Jesus? Because he follows the request that Jesus gave to Peter. "Come to me on the water." And Peter starts to walk toward Jesus on the water. And Peter should have said to himself, "Well, this is really exciting. I didn't know I could walk on the water. I thought I was going to sink or drown, or I can't swim, but I'm walking on the water." And Peter should use that as a moment to open up his vistas. He should have said to himself, "If I can walk on the water, something I never did before, something I thought I never could do, just think of all the other things in my life I can do. All those things I've been running around saying I can't, but now I'm doing something I thought was impossible." But unfortunately, Peter began to sink. And he began to sink for one very specific reason. Let's take a look at verse 30, 14th chapter of Matthew. "But when he," that's a reference to Peter, "but when he saw how strong the wind was, he became frightened. And beginning to sink, he cried out, 'Lord, save me.' Immediately Jesus stretched out his hand and caught him." Now, what went wrong for Peter? Peter lacked faith. Who did Peter lack faith in? Was it Jesus? Oh, he had plenty of faith in Jesus. Who did Peter lack faith in? Exactly right, he lacked faith in himself. He started to say to himself as he's walking on water, "I can't walk on the water." Why would he have said that? Because he's walking on the water. How can you say I can't do something when you are in fact doing it? He's walking on the water, but he said to himself, "I can't walk on the water." So the second he lost faith in himself, he started to sink, because according to Psychology Today magazine, he decided to utter those two words that ruin life: "I can't." When you say "I can't," you become a prophet of your own future. You preclude all type of possibilities in your life when you simply sit back and say, "I can't. I can't do this, I can't do that," which means, yeah, guess what? That's true. You're never going to be able to, because you decided to say, "I can't." If you are the type of person, if you find yourself every so often saying "I can't," what you want to do, you want to take those two words. One is actually a pronoun, the other one is a conjunction, the word "I can't." You want to take "I can't" and throw it out of your lexicon. Put the words "I can't" in a dictionary, because when you say "I can't," you won't be able to. You know what's going on tonight? Tonight, there's a bunch of bumblebees out there flying around stinging people. You know why? Because the bumblebee's never been told he can't fly. And since no one ever told that guy he can't fly, he decides to fly anyway and sting people. Because the bumblebee says, "I'm not going to ascribe to the words I can't." So many times when you look at your life, Especially if you're older, because if you're younger, you definitely want, as a young person, you want to get rid of the words "I can't," because you can do anything you put your mind to it. But when you say "I can't," and if you're in your 40s or in your 50s or even older than that, and you look back and say, "Oh, I could have done so much in my life, but I decided not to try because I thought I can't."